My friends, the day is finally here. Welcome to the Cluster Puck Podcast, part of the MHRT Network here at Center Ice. I am Nick, and finally being taken off the LTIR is Brit. How are you doing, Brit? Oh no, we had this all set up so perfectly. I don't know if she can hear me.
There was a time to really just disappear. That was it.
There we go. Oh, she's there. We can hear
you.
you.
Hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, but you can't see me?
Can't see you, but we can hear you.
Okay.
Oh, we had this whole thing orchestrated, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't even know which one. Maybe I'd better just shut the mic off and I can turn my camera on, and it's a lot easier to ignore me that way.
Well, either way, it's been a long time, Britt, and we cannot tell you how happy we all are that you're back, bringing the life back to the podcast after I tried to do my best and probably ended up killing it. The stunned silence is very reassuring.
That's one of the most boring time periods that we've ever had on the podcast. Like, it's pretty cool that they just started doing stuff right when I was ready to come back.
Yeah. So definitely, I mean, I probably added to the boringness of it, not to brag, but but that being said, we're happy to have you back. We're very excited, and some stuff has happened that we actually get to talk about. So before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe, follow the MHRT Network so you can get notified when shows like the Cluster Puck Podcast go live. You can do so on the various social media platforms of your choosing. And if you want to follow us, we ask that you do so at the Cluster Puck Podcast on Facebook and at Cluster Puck Avs on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. All right, Britt. So there was a lot that we kind of covered that is kind of all gone and past now. However, there is a noteworthy thing that actually happened just yesterday, even. And that would be the signing of a one Victor Olofsson to a one-year deal, just a little over 1.5 million AAV. And you got to ask yourself two questions here, Britt. So I'll ask them to you, actually. First, do you like the signing? And second, what does that now mean for the depth of the Avalanche?
I am thrilled. I think this is one of those things that could go down as like a home run. And when I first saw it, I actually thought that maybe somebody had mistyped and it was supposed to be they confused him for Victor Olofsson. And I was like, or is it Victor Olofsson? Because we had Olofsson.
Yeah, Oscar Olofsson. Yep.
Yes. So I'm like, why would we be doing this again? Like, what's going on right now? And then when I realized that it was actually him, I mean, that is so random. And I'm kind of bewildered that Vegas couldn't or wouldn't pay that. I've come to the conclusion that in the next few years, we're going to have to assume that if a contract feels a little bit overpaid or a little bit high, that's when you know that it's probably perfect, because guys are going to feel overpaid as the cap continues to raise. And I just, I feel like he's one of those guys that has a low-key career, and then at the end of the career, people that appreciate him are the ones that he's played for. Like the fans that watch him play, they'll look back at him as a serviceable, just a solid guy. And he might not be huge to anyone else, or he might not be someone that everyone would know. But I think that he's very solid. And that's just, we need solid. I don't know. I'm pretty excited. Like, I don't want to get too excited. I'm scared because that doesn't usually work out very well for me.
Well, I mean, I feel like I have all reason to get excited too. I mean, you look at what happened last year in his statistics with the Golden Knights, 56 games, so just a little over half a season. But this is what he did in a little over half a season, Britt. 15 goals, 14 assists for 29 points.
Yeah.
That's half a season, basically.
Yeah, and it's
sorry, he can be basically a 20 goal, 20 assist guy on your third, potentially fourth line.
Exactly. And that's what's nice about him is we are in a position of not asking him to come in and play on the first or second line, maybe float occasionally a little bit higher, but we're asking you to come in and perform well for a third liner. Like we're not needing a major over you know what I mean, achievement for what he's expected out of. But if he does, then that becomes, that's kind of the calculation of a NHL Stanley Cup is you have to bet a little on some guys. And that he's had down years. I think it was if you took off, like there was 2 years, and if you remove those statistics from his like stats altogether, it was insane how good they were. I mean, his overall statistics are dragged down majorly by a couple of years. So he definitely has it in him to pop way off, but it seems as though he really his floor is not going to be terribly low.
Yeah. And I think that's the most I guess ambitious part of this move is that you can get someone who is spectacular, like I don't want to say necessarily like a Val Nichushkin 2.0, so to speak, but it could be, where all of a sudden they just become a point machine, and he's just sitting there on your third line at $1.5 million, and just for the 1 year, your value is beyond great with him.
Exactly, and that's what you just need, the right depth guys to have the year of their life, and they will probably never do it again. But if it lines up and they do it, that's how. I mean, think of the Avs players that left the Stanley Cup winning team that got paid and have done nothing. Look at how much JT come for me. Burakovsky. Yeah. I mean, it's just has to line up. But I think that this guy, I think he's due. I think he's got good chances. I really like it.
Yeah. And speaking of Burakovsky, so Olofsson wears number 95. Do you think he takes the number 95 here in Colorado?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I don't agree. He's like I kind of wondered with Vegas not re-signing him at that price, which he's kind of in that group where you need to cut some fat from the roster or from the cap, and you don't want to let him go because he is good and solid, but he makes enough that it does make a difference in order to sign someone else that you have to. I just totally lost my train of thought here. Sorry, we're waiting for the thing to. I'm trying to get my camera to load still.
Oh, that's all right.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, we got you.
Okay. I'm echoing in my ear, so I can't.
Talk. I get. That tends to happen sometimes. But I think, ultimately, you got to look at the Avs for where they are and what they did in order to get him. I mean, they were already strapped for cash as it was. Now, that being said, we're not out of the woods yet. You have only a little under $1.5 million left in cap space. And you still have Logan O'Connor that's technically considered out, but if he comes back, somehow put you, or I guess not somehow, he would put you back over that cap space, right? Because he's at 2.5. So you would be $1 million over. So it's
bring out the trade Gerard.
Probably.
Every time there's a new trade, it's like there's a light that pops up in Twitter. People talk about Gerard before they even acknowledge the trade.
Yeah, pretty much. So I can't help but wonder if maybe that just means. Say that again.
Do you see them getting rid of someone, or do you suppose somebody is going to be out that we don't know is out?
No, if I were to throw out a guess, I would lob that like Ivan, Ty Fellhaber, and then Daniel Gushkin that we just signed as well. That combined seems like I think it's going to be that fluff that we're missing in order to get to the 2.5 so we can bring O'Connor back. So they're currently on the paid roster. So I think they're okay once they send them down to the minors and all that kind of stuff, everything should play out okay. But you really have to pay attention to how you're, I guess, placing players, moving the money around. It's going to be a little bit of a chess game, in my opinion, if they're going to make sure that this works and continues to work.
Yeah.
So, but no, I think it's a great addition, especially if he brings that scoring. So that now kind of rolls into the second question, and the title of this podcast is, are we deep? Yes, we now have that depth, but are we dangerous? That's going to be the real question, because Britt, we've said it time and time again, and we'll probably continue to say it time and time again. When the Avalanche have depth and that depth scores, we tend to do better, right? Much better. You now pack that in with the fact that, like we talked about, for a little bit now, we have two serviceable goaltenders that are starting the season with us. We have a solid and bona fide 2C that is going to start with us. We have Nichushkin that is going to start with us. We have Landeskog that is going to start with us. All these things. So now does that make the Avalanche dangerous again? A force to not necessarily be reckoned with?
I feel that we're closer. I don't know. I guess you have to take Ranton out of the equation. It feels right now going into the year, I feel that we're closer going into this year than we were going into last year. But there's so many question marks. It's so hard to even know what our team is going to look like. I think Gabe's a really big part of that. But for what he loses in maybe like minutes and speed from his prior years, I think the team's going to gain so much positivity. So Nate just needs to show up is really what we need. And I think if we've got Olofsson is a wicked shot, not like the hardest defender in the world. That's one of his critiques. And then Nate if we can get scoring all the way down the line, and then we've got a nice hard-nosed fourth line, even the hockey guy said we are one of the most dangerous in the league, and he's a Dallas fan. So I do feel really confident. I am scared to say it out loud anymore.
Yeah. And you kind of hit a point there as far as, the factor in of when you start the season versus when you come in late, right? And so those people now, like Brock Nelson, Gabe Landeskog, I'm going to throw him on the list. Victor Olofsson.
I just forget Nelson exists sometimes still.
Sometimes, yeah. Parker Kelly, and then Brent Burns as well. They're going to start the season out with you. So they're there for the long haul, right?
Yeah.
I think as far as what I'm seeing, I honestly think that this roster is already better than what we had all of last year combined, right? And that takes a lot for me to actually say that, given what we had, who we acquired, what we went through with the Mikko Rantanen trade. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things that factor in, but
it kind of feels
starting out the
we've
season
taken
like that,
Mikko Rantanen and just spread that talent just a little bit down the line. The same amount, just a little bit, more proportioned or.
And you look at something like Marty Necas, and he can produce the same as Mikko Rantanen. Now, has he yet? No. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, but he can. He definitely can.
And I think that hopefully Landeskog in a positive locker room, it feels almost like some youth mental block that he's got, I don't know. I just feel like it could be a magical year if he figures it out, because I've heard it so many times, and it's hard to believe kind of that he is capable of being one of the most elite in the world. I mean, true. And it seems so dramatic because you only see it in spurts, but I just hope that he can be empowered this year or given the confidence, something. and just once he gets rolling all the way through. Because I think once he gets a taste of that confidence and that win, the hunger for it will drive him a lot harder. Because he seems just a little Miko Rantney sometimes.
A little bit, yep. And I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there when you talked about Landeskog, right? It's this new life. It's this new breath in the team, right? And I can't help but wonder, I mean, all these additions and signings aside, that his impact alone is going to just change the dynamic of this team, the mentality of the team, because I mean, we know what it's like. For the last 3 seasons, we've known what it's like to not have a captain. And it sucks.
Well, and
like, it is not fun.
Something that's really cool. I was kind of wondering if Olofsson had bounced because he's gone around. Olofsson was the captain of his college hockey team. He was the captain of several teams, the assistant captain for, I think it was UNO. So that's really nice too, because I know that we've both agreed in the last few years that it really feels like the locker room may be a big part of and I think that a big part of the locker room being bad is Nathan MacKinnon not being soothed and also put in his place by Gabe. And I think it rubs off on everyone. So it would be incredible to see the way things change.
Yeah. And my hope is, and I brushed on this subject a couple of times now in the past month or so, is I cannot stress the importance enough about starting the season off on the right foot, because that can really dictate your season, right?
Exactly.
Luckily the Avalanche have enough talent that they can kind of score their way past problems. But the fact that we lost 7 out of the first 10 games or something like that, I can't remember exactly the numbers.
And in general, I think their motto, it was so bad. Start on time, games and seasons.
Yeah. So it's to have this kind of a depth, to have this kind of a team that's going to be starting out, no injuries, knock on wood, that this is who we're getting starting out there is incredible, because it feels like about as long as Landeskog's been out, we have not had that completeness.
And it feels fun, and that makes people play better hockey, is by having fun. And like, I'm always whining about more locker room guys, but people playing fun hockey, like the Panthers are literally the embodiment of what I've always believed.
Yeah. They're a fun team. I mean, I don't think people realize just how far team chemistry can get you. I mean, you look at the Tampa Bay Lightning, for example, 3 straight years, people wanting to come back to play for the team. Not only, I mean, obviously because you're going to the Cup final, but they had a chemistry. Same thing with the Panthers. They go 3 years in a row, and they want to come back. There's just that team chemistry that you want to, I don't want to say you don't have it, because you do, but you want to build off of it to that championship caliber like we had back in the 2022 season.
When we watched, in the Stanley Cup playoffs last year, when we watched the Panthers parade and the interviews after, and even just throughout the playoffs, the love and true family feel in that locker room. And Maurice plays a big part of that, I think, too. And I don't know that Bednar's a different style coach than Maurice. But I didn't feel anything like that anytime you watched any Avs media. It honestly seemed like last year was just no fun at all. And maybe I'm just writing a narrative that isn't there, but I'd like to think that I know fun.
Well, I don't think you're necessarily off base there. Even though you were winning, yes, you did eventually find yourself to get into a playoff nice and solid. You maybe could have chased down Dallas for that second spot. Yeah, but there were always those times that it just felt like it was strictly business. You go in, you win, you go on to the next town, or they come in, you beat them, next team comes in, like
And just
it
the
was
franticness of it, always chasing every game. Oh my God, how many comebacks did we have to have?
Quite a few, honestly. Now, I don't think it was as many as the 2022 season, where the motto was literally find a way, and boy, did you find a way. But it was still and I don't want to call it an unhealthy amount, but still, it was a lot more than I would have liked it to be, I think, is my answer to that question.
Yep. But it's seriously, it is maddening when they're losing to the Ducks on a random Tuesday, and then you end up in the spring, and it's like, boy, it sure would have been a good idea to beat well, I guess the Blackhawks, they're kryptonite, right?
Yeah, that's
if
true.
only we had beat the Blackhawks in October.
Very true. Here's a question for you then that I had. This actually just popped into my head. Have we heard anything from Eric Johnson and the Eric Johnson camp?
I was wondering that. I don't know, because that's what is speaking in the locker room, guys.
Yeah. I mean, you want to talk about someone who
he's almost worth a roster spot just for the even if he never touched the ice, man.
Yeah. Yep. It feels like it would be
just you suppose the money he's gonna retire if he doesn't get signed this year.
I wonder. Yeah. Okay, follow-up question to that. So last week, I don't know if you watched last week's episode, but the whole theme, or I guess half of the theme for that whole episode, was a question that I received on should the Avs go out and get free agent Tyson Barrie.
Why would someone ask you that?
I was very happy.
You seem like the right person to ask.
It was a user with a bunch of numbers, and they wanted to remain anonymous, which was sad. But they asked me and said,
Tyson
like,
Barrie's
hey,
mom.
I understand that Tyson Barrie's your favorite player. He's available. Do you think the Avs should go get him and sign him and bring him in? And oh my gosh, did I have the episode of my life talking about that? I could have gone on for a good long while, but I had to move on to other stuff. But
then we'll go grab Ryan O'Reilly too, and we'll just have the funnest team ever.
Just bring back the 2016 team while we're at it, huh?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, obviously, if we get Tyson Barrie, then we have to trade Sam Girard, right? As according to
I mean, you have to, right?
Yeah.
Well, and that was just the hard thing. And for those of you who are watching again 2 weeks in a row, sorry, you're gonna have to hear this again. Just briefly, bear with me. But Tyson Barrie quarterbacked that power play and had on-ice vision that was just unparalleled. He still holds records that Cale Makar has yet to beat, right? And he hasn't been on the team since 2020. Yeah.
He falls in the category of players who age gracefully in their playing abilities, that can play the role in different ways or change their role entirely,
Yep.
Especially like Brett Burns. I mean, he's like the perfect example of I don't like writing people off. Sorry?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I thought I lost. I'm sorry. If I keep messing up, my ears keeps coming back to me. But I don't remember what we were talking about.
Brett Burns.
Oh, all right. Never mind. Scratch it.
All right. Well, I'll piggyback off of what you were saying. Brett Burns, look at him, right? He's 40 years old, and he still had that first line capability or first pairing capability in Carolina last season, right? Yeah, he's not the goal scorer, the go getter that he once was, sure, but to be on a caliber team such as Carolina and be on the first pairing,
right?
That says a lot.
When you look at him, do you think he's weak? Like now, is he a wussy?
Not even close. No, he could be. He could be.
I believe he had the least number of hits in the NHL. His team. He only had like 14 hits the entire year last year, but he's a presence. Oh, I don't think I'm making that up. I'm pretty sure the whole season.
Really?
What do you think? 14, high or low?
I mean, I'll
Which
believe it. I'll buy it.
shocked
Sure.
me,
So just the
but
big
it
body
just
presence,
shows,
the huh.
yeah,
That's
he's so
funny. That's
intimidating.
interesting. But no, I
Hold on,
mean,
I can
same thing. So
follow up.
kind of looking at the depth, yeah, I think, and I said this a couple times, all we needed was just one more addition, one more piece, one more go get him. I think defense is totally solid. Obviously, Sam Malinsky will come into his own. He's the one that shores up with Brett Burns, um, the third pairing. But I think getting Olofsson is the right move, honestly. And it's one of those out of left field calls. It feels like that Chris McFarland and Joe Sakic just go get the guy that everyone's like, slapping their face or palming their forehead,
Mm-hmm.
going, "Oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that?" When they were thinking, when people are thinking, are they done? If they go get someone, I think it should be A, B, and C. No, they go get the
Yeah,
right guy, it feels like a lot of the time.
and it's I mean, they're never going to do what we expect them to do, and much of that is because they are playing chess, and we're like literally just picking our noses while we look at checkers because their ability, like, to just seem to get people that nobody even knew were available. It's miserable because I don't get to ever get excited about being right, and it's also not super sexy. But when you win the Stanley Cup, we
Yeah,
should have some good fun coming out of Brett Burns though this year. Like, he's gonna be a content
I
machine.
I think we will. Honestly, I'm really excited to see the defense and now how it shakes up. But the only thing now that you
Yeah.
just have to kind of keep on your toes is injuries, right? I mean, I
Oh,
know
yep.
every
And
team
that's,
goes through it,
I'd
but it
say
just
he's
seems
the
like,
biggest concern there.
yeah. But I think he's got like some kind of crazy near Iron Man like streak
My
going on or
God,
something like that.
I'm like
It's crazy.
almost dying from a root canal, and this guy's like, ugh, I don't know how these guys do it. It's crazy.
That's hockey. That's hockey for you. Okay, so last little subject that I wanted to do to kind of clean up. We're keeping this a little short today. Less than a month until players report to training camp. We're having rookie showcases. We're going to have rookie camps, all that kind of good stuff in less than a month, Britt. It's around the corner. You can hear the skates getting sharpened as we speak. And I
I
cannot tell you how excited I am to finally begin to not only have stuff to talk about, but to actually get back to hockey. It's just the worst 3 months of your life, and it feels like an eternity when it's the off season.
yeah,
Not
but
fun.
it is hard when you're in a fan base that is cheering for a team that's always expected to win the cup, because sometimes it does feel like we're only waiting for the playoffs. Like, nothing matters until the playoffs, but
Pretty much.
we can appreciate our hockey until then.
Nope, I totally agree. I think it's going to be fun. I haven't done any research as far as like rookies or newcomers to talk about as far as the showcase or anything to that extent. So I'll have to do some research into that, and kind of we'll bring up some talking points here in the near future. But I do know that they're going to do a double header, or no, sorry, not double header, a split squad. When the Mammoth come, they're going to play at Ball Arena and then another smaller arena. I can't remember the name of it. But you're going to start there.
Yeah,
They
is
have
it
the
the Eagles one?
showcases.
You think Taylor McCarr is going to come up at all? I think he's going. You suppose he'll be up? I'd love to see him just go crazy in the showcase.
That would be awesome. I don't think he'll come up this year. I don't think it'd be. I wouldn't have a problem with it. Yeah, it'd be an up and down at best if like injuries ended up being like a big issue. But assuming like all that aside, I don't think you're going to see him come up anytime soon this year, because as much as I want him to, I think he still needs to go through that learning curve, have that
for sure.
time
And
to kind of
we don't
stew
see him
in
like
the
that.
AHL, just a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah. But
Yep. I'd
it'd
rather
be cool
not
to
bring
see
him
the
up and
cars
ruin
on the
him.
team. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
Yep,
God.
exactly.
It makes my heart grow a billion times.
It'd be a lot of fun. But no, I think really the only guy from the Eagles that I think has a shot of getting up and staying up, and I think currently is up, is Ivan. I've really enjoyed seeing his play. Obviously, he's still got a ways to go in order for him to kind of climb up the ladder of lines. But I do like how he had played. The second guy I would bring in is Prishkapov. He's kind of had another one of those, he's got his moments type thing, like those flashes in the pan that you kind of look at it and you go, okay, well, maybe there is something here. So I would say he'd be the next guy that I would probably give the nod to. But no, back to Ivan. I think he's kind of the one that is like that, like Alex Newhook, right?
Yeah.
Just a few years behind. That once he takes that opportunity, I think, and doesn't let go, he's going to find himself going up the ladder. It's just, in my opinion, a matter of time. Now, could I be dead wrong? Sure. It could be that it's just a big nothing burger.
You've never been wrong.
Oh yeah, no, never. Not once in my
Not
life.
once.
Not with every guess of how games are going to go. Never been wrong there. But I think I can see Ivan climbing up ladders to get to a third or maybe even second line position.
And Lord knows Bednar's going to give him the chance because that's his boy.
That's his MO. Bednar is the kind of coach that, even though your top line is supposed to be, McKinnon, Landeskog, Lehkonen, or Natchez, I guess in this case, that doesn't mean that that's where it's going to stay. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times I watched last season when someone scores a goal and they all go to the huddle and kind of, pat each other on the head and hug each other and all that stuff, that I'm like, okay, timeout. Hang on. Let's look at this. Nathan McKinnon, Joel Kiviranta, Ross Colton. That's the one.
Well, and it'll be very interesting to see how.
And then Devon Taves and Sam Malinsky. It was like, okay, now what?
I think one of the greatest things about the Cup year that I look back on and think is we had a team that you were never fearful of any line being on the ice at any time, and I feel like we're close there.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see with a new assistant.
Yeah. Well, and I think kind of going back to that 2022 year, we started the year well equipped, right? We had Nazem Kadri locked and loaded. Obviously, it was a contract year, which was a big deal, but a contract year nonetheless. So, he was going to try and do his best. Yeah. The only two pieces that you were missing, I think, that we got was Arturi Lehkonen and Josh Manson. But that was mid-season. We were already going to be buyers, right?
Yeah.
So, but we were well equipped, I guess is the point I was trying to get to. We started the year out great. And
it's wild to think, though, because
sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I just my headphones.
It's probably a time delay. Don't worry about it. That's fine. Go ahead, and then I'll finish my sentence.
No, it's just it's hard. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. You can go. Go ahead. Don't be shy.
I can see you talking, but I can't hear you.
Oh, no. Oh, man. Okay, well, if that's the case, then I guess I will finish my sentence. I see the same, I guess, shadows of that 2022 team from this year. Now, like I said, could it just be nothing but smoke signals to a nothingness? Sure. But the starting out with a complete team to me
Yeah.
speaks volumes. And I'll probably touch on it a million times before the start of the season. And I apologize in advance for doing so, but I can't tell you just how important those early games are that end up biting you at the end of the season in April, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful about it. So, all right, now that you're
And
back, sorry about that.
I think it's kind of a trickle down going into the season with a good, healthy roster. Unlike last year, was not like it was a terrifying way to start the year, roster wise. Everything, injuries. Starting the year strong and not having to put so much stress and have so much expectations for our top dogs will hopefully mean that they can pace themselves a little bit and not be. I just think about Cale Makar, how much he plays and how much is expected out of him. I mean, when you think about Cale, he's young and he's, Mr. Defenseman USA, but like, look at how hard we played Devontae's. That guy's I don't know. I really think that it is so important to put less stress on them throughout the year so that they have something left to blow out when the time comes.
Yeah. And again, the worry isn't making the playoffs. This roster, even without Victor Olofsson, makes the playoffs, right? Like that's not the concern. It's the doing things right. Exactly. It's those doing things right early in the season, so that way you have a better position later in the season.
Yeah.
And this
so
just
kind
of
solidifies
solidifies
Dallas.
that. That's exactly right. I mean, friggin' fingers crossed that they get at least the first seed or third seed, and you go with the other. I don't know. I don't know. Just not first round. Just not first.
I go back and forth. Our cup that we're gonna win here, quick in our window. Yep. Do we just want to hope that we can beat Dallas? Like we want Dallas, we're hungry for them, or is that like just cursed territory? Do we just want to always hope for someone else?
No. Well, here's the thing.
It feels like
I think I talked about this a few weeks ago, and my answer to that is they are your kryptonite. Okay, you've lost to them 3 times in the last 4 years, 5 years, something like that. Like it's apparent that you are not beating them in playoffs, right?
Yeah.
So naturally, you don't want to play them. I mean, the 1 year we didn't play them, we won the freaking cup, right?
Yeah,
now,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is it the wussy way out to just stay away?
You come to this fork in the road, right? Where it's, do I face my demons and overcome it, beat Dallas? I have to go through Dallas in order to get my mind right. Or is it pray and hope that you don't have to play Dallas and that they just lose somewhere else and whatnot, making the path easier for you? Both options are totally serviceable. Both options have logic and reasoning to them. But if you ask my opinion, why do you need to go through a cheese grater when you can just go the other direction?
That's the biggest part of it is the disparity in our conference, that if we didn't have to face the top teams in the league for the first 3 rounds, I mean, last year was just absolutely insane, the difference between the top and the bottom. It wouldn't hurt so bad. Like meeting Dallas if we could meet them in the 3rd round after a breezy
after everyone's
first
been beat up,
yeah, a respectable 2nd round, but then we go battle in the 3rd, but just tie.
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, you're good, but no, I just kind of just circling back to the first point we made. Having a complete team is going to be great, right? And I'm really excited. It just gets me that much more antsy for the beginning of the season, because it's like, oh my gosh, like this is going to be a great team to watch. Game 1.
Imagine after we add Sidney Crosby. I mean, free deadline comes.
Oh yeah, which, like
Who's
I said,
stop us.
It's totally 100% going to happen. In fact, why don't we just
It
take Gino
absolutely
and walk
is
in and
manifesting.
Oh yeah, sorry.
The world owes me
sorry.
some good karma.
I forgot I promised you that I was going to be on your side about this. You're right, Britt.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Have you been failing to manifest in my absence?
I forgot to manifest. No,
That's
I did say it
rude.
once. I did say it once, actually, while you were
I was
gone.
gonna say, guess
Nope,
we're gonna
I
have
remember
to go
the
double
episode.
time.
Yep, it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago that I said that Sidney Crosby is going to be on the Avs, and I said it for you. So nope, I totally got you. Okay, well, I think that's going to probably wrap up this episode, Britt. Again, off-season stuff. There's really not a ton to talk about. So unless you have anything else, I think maybe we'll just ride this to the station and call it a day.
I don't think so.
Okay, good deal. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for joining us on this episode of the Cluster Puck Podcast, part of the MHRT Network. Again, if you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe and follow the MHRT Network so you can get notified when shows like the Cluster Puck Podcast go live. You can do so on the various social media platforms of your choosing. And if you want to follow us, you can do so at the Cluster Puck Podcast on Facebook and at Cluster Puck Avs on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. With that being said, we're marking another week down, and we're in the month range. So it's just a matter of time. You just got to hold on for a few weeks longer. So that being said, have a great weekend, everyone. We're getting closer. Keep smiles on your faces. And as always,
go ask go.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Simcoe's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast's racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle. Wait a minute.